Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the ANZCAR Thunder Series live from Talladega Super Speedway. My name's Mark Johansson, and I've been able to break into this commentary booth again this week. And joining me tonight is Mr. Matt Hunter, pushing everyone's buttons. Good evening, Matt. How are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm good, Mark. Yeah. Thanks for coming along and joining me, helping me out. Been in the booth the last couple of weeks by myself, sounding terrible on my own, but it's good to have company here to bounce stuff off.
No, it's all good, mate. I've just got my own voice coming through from
That's all right.
YouTube, so I've killed the volume there, mate. It's a bit interesting tonight because we've got Josh Mickelmore sitting on top of the standings, but the guys that are running second, third, and fourth and fifth don't seem to be here tonight. So
Yeah, I haven't got my points up. I can't tell. It's
yeah,
a
we've got Josh Mickelmore leading the series at the season at the moment. Ruben Phelps, Matty Raymond, Stephen Clark. No, sorry, Stephen Clark,
Stephen.
Norman Clark, and Stephen Williams. And I can't see them out any. Sorry,
Norman's there.
Steve
Yep,
Williams is.
yep. Norman's there. Ruben Phelps and Matty Ray.
Yeah, definitely can't see those two.
They might be
So
taking
that's
this one as a bit
gonna,
of a drop round. Yeah.
yeah. So that's gonna give these other guys a little bit of a chance to close in on some points. But yeah, it's unusual because Ruben is normally pretty strong in these things, I believe. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't get to see a lot of these races. I'm normally working, but by the looks of it, and what I've been told, Ruben's fairly strong. Same with Matty Ray.
Indeed, yeah. So Ruben won last week. The race went last week. So, but you never know. It might be something, some real world commitments that he's got. I know Gallagher missed the race earlier on the season. If, he was actually overseas at the time, and yes, there's always real life commitments that sort of pop up and stuff. But as I just seen a name pop up on the chart there, which is really good to see. Someone I haven't seen for a while is Joshua Carroll Warden.
Yeah, I was
He,
just going to allude to that. He's
yeah.
back.
So he took a big trip overseas to Europe for, gosh, probably maybe a couple of months. And then when he came back, he was out of the contention for most championships. So he kind of, I guess, decided not to run. But it's good to see him out there now tonight.
Yeah, he was back with us on Saturday night in the Warriors, and I believe he's going to play a supporting role with the Cup Series next tomorrow night. But in saying that too, he may change his mind and sit out. But it's good to see him back on track. Yeah, I know he definitely didn't have the finish he'd like to have on Saturday night. So let's hope he can put in a good show tonight.
And
At the
indeed.
moment, just looking at these times, Gary Willman, what a great time from him. His last lap, and it just as I say that, Hamish Gallagher pips him to the post. So Hamish goes in the pole position at the moment, but there's still a few guys there. And again, Mr. Jones takes it away from Mr. Gallagher.
Yep, another strong driver on the super speedways. Actually, while we're just watching Skurlock complete his qualifying laps, I don't think we've done the track info, but yeah, of course we're at Talladega Super Speedway, 3 mile long track, four corners and super speedway racing. And let's quickly just check the weather as well. So we can see air temperature is 21 degrees and our track temperature is 35 degrees and partly cloudy sky. So yeah,
It's going to make for a slippery surface at 35 degrees. I definitely wouldn't want to be the outside tyres here.
no, not indeed. Certainly wouldn't want to be those. Although traditionally tyre wear on super speedways is virtually non-existent. You don't really, you can get away with not changing tyres when you're coming for your pit stop. You can just get away with fuel only. But we've got
Yeah,
a good field, a huge field actually. And I'm just doing a count 28, 29, 30, 32 cars, and there's a lot of new faces in there, which is great to see as well. So um, let's see if we can keep the super speedway run going, because the last two super speedway races combined, I think we're looking at about 160 laps with no cautions. So yeah, be interesting to see
You
if we
know
can keep
you've
that going.
just jinxed it now, Matt,
Oh,
don't you?
I expect cautions tonight. Yeah, that's all right. As we see, they're
we
all loading
we
up on the
have
grid.
got some drivers that said they'd come up and join us, but we'll go through the field here. So Ryan Jones on pole, and Nobby Tompkins second. That's great. Hamish Gallagher out of 3, Dave Douglas out of 4. JCW, good to see him back, and in 5th, Gary Willman in 6th. Luke Georgeson and Jamie Nankervis. That's a good result for Jamie there on row 5. Row 5, 6.
Yep.
Josh Micklemore and Christopher Finlay. That's a good response there for Chris. Norman Clark, the gentleman racer, and Raymond Jago. Reese May, Michael Skurlock. It's a bit surprising Michael's that far down. Phil Otto in the 1 car. Paul Drady, that's a great looking car there tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye out for Paul. Stevie Dubb, Phil Bassett, and I'll probably get some of these names wrong.
Are you right?
Aaron Dillon, Mirko. Let's hope to see Mirko have a good run. He's not been having a great run with his internet. Lachlan, I ain't even going to go that second name. And Steve Hobbit, good to see old
The Mad
Storm
Dog.
Steve there.
Yep.
Brad Finley and Nigel. Mr. Campbell and Tristan, teammates there towards the back. Nick Smith, I think that's the way he pronounced it. And Peter Jones. Jake Malone and Matt Bailey.
Yep, that's all right. And Matty Ray and Bruce Barnes. And
so,
on the back
Matty
row,
Ray's made it.
Wesley Closely. Yeah, Matty Ray's going to do his usual Matty Ray thing. He's going to start from the back and see if he can survive and work his way through the field.
Yeah, some of the comments that I was listening to earlier on, Matt, was it's a cool head that's going to win here tonight. But with Hamish starting that close to the front, you've got to have the money on Hamish. He's really, I know the first 2 series he's made it his, and he's the man to beat this season.
Yeah, I think the guys at the front are wanting to stay out of trouble there. Be interesting the guys in the middle, the Skurlocks and the Ottos and the Williams in the middle of the pack, what they sort of do, whether they just decide to just drop back for a little bit. Normally a good tactic was that you would drop back for the start of the race and ride around and let a few wrecks happen up front and avoid them and come to the front at the end of the race. But the last couple of races being green on Super Speedway means that strategy didn't work. So it's a risk if you want to do that as well.
Yeah, look, Matt, as you said, Talladega, I can't see it going without a caution. I'm hoping, but also cautions also close the field up because super speedways they can get fairly spread out.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, and especially if you get a spin that doesn't bring out a caution, you can get packs that break it up. So just see them go around here. So I've cranked the sound up a little bit, so I'm not sure how we're going to go on the sound. It might be a little bit too loud. But we'll see how we go.
I'm quite sure someone will tell us if it's too loud and they can't hear our great voices.
There's a sort of just long formation lap coming around here.
And lights are out on the pace car, so we will go green this time by. It'll be interesting to see who gets the jump here. Nobby's a pretty good starter, even though he tends to get into some trouble sometimes.
Yeah, I think Ryan will be controlling this one. He'll hit that restart zone, which I think is usually a Geico zone. Let's see what it is today, if there is one. Should be one. Of course, it's right around, the actual start finish is actually right around way over here. There we go, and there we are. We're underway.
He's decided to wait for the green flag. So it's a nice little jump there. Dave's giving Nobby a nice little push. So they're all just going to stay in rows in double file here at the moment. go back and see if anyone's been brave enough down the back to have a go 3 wide. And no, everyone's behaving themselves and staying 2 wide, so that's good.
Yeah, they're really starting to wind up now and get that speed up. Bottom line looks pretty organised. Top line's got a bit of a split and they're not sort of very well lined up straight, but Noddy Tompkins has definitely got the best position in that 80 yellow car on the outside there, because the number 10 of Dave Douglas is one of the league's better, or possibly the league's best super speedway racer. He really does know how to push a good car around.
Now, I don't know, Noddy's new to the ovals, so he's done the nice big the move to the inside line, and so obviously he feels more comfortable running low, and he's used Dave to get that push. And just as we see that, we see Ryan jump to the outside, and Dave and Gary Willman will push Ryan further and harder.
Yeah, I tell you what, if I was out there driving and Dave was behind me, I wouldn't leave Dave. I would stay in front of him as much as I can without causing issue for him or anybody else. But yeah, I would certainly want to keep him behind me.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, Matt, he's one of the best pushers in the league. He's been racing. He's done his 300 start with ANZCAR, I believe.
No, I don't think he's up to 300 yet. I don't think he's up.
He must be getting close.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. No, so that reminds me, I think there's only one more person who's pretty close to an achievement. As we see, oh, here we go, here's a wreck. Here we go.
Josh is on the worst end of that.
Oh, that's going to be a... Wow, so I'm not sure what happened there. They just hooked to the right. There's a bit of overlap, maybe a lane change of some kind, and they weren't clear. But let's have a look and see if we've got a replay on. Get a few different views. Just try and dial it in a little bit.
It's that red and white car on that high line, I think it was. I just can't pick out who it was.
Yeah, so something's happened there. Just go back again and just try and get a good view of it. Unfortunately, my camera's not
looks like that black and pink car has got into the back there and just 013 into the back of the 62.
So 62's caught up, and there's a big squeeze there, and yep. So the 62's caught up to the yellow car in front, and a bit squeezed up, and then the 013's just hit him in the back there. And that spun Josh out there.
That's unfortunate for Josh and for Norman Clark too. So
good avoiding by Skilllock to get there. Unfortunately, the 129 not able to. And they're sort of just checking up, trying to get through.
Great truck. Looks like Stevie Dub just touched the one car. So that's nice way to get through there for Stevie Dub.
Yeah, let's see if we can go on board with Stevie Dub and just have a little bit of a look at his view there.
Oh, that is so close. Yeah, it's definitely it's a net damage.
Yeah. Well, that's good that he's got a little bit of luck with the netcode this time around, because a couple of weeks ago he was very unlucky.
Matty Ray's in the pits.
Yeah, we'll go back live and just see how many cars we've got torn up here. A few cars down the back here.
Paul Brady's car is missing his bonnet.
That's the 129 we saw.
Phil Otto car, I'd say, won't make it back out. He's got no front end or no bonnet.
No.
So
yeah, it's definitely a huge crash this early in the race. Very unfortunate. Looks like a few cars there towing. Let's have a little bit of a look through who's all sitting in the pits here, really. So Paul Drady, Steve Williams is back out there. So it looks like we've got Norman Clark, whose engine's just blown on cue. Phil Otto's there. Paul Drady's getting damage done, although Phil Otto's pulling out now.
It's going to be one slow car.
Yep. Norman Clark's there getting damage repaired. Phil Bissett is there, and Josh Micklemore. Rest May looks like he is gone and put the car behind the wall, and Mirko's sitting there as well. So that's a big accident. It's taken a number of cars out early on, and a number of cars will have damage as well. So, yeah, very unfortunate.
Now, just some of the guys aren't in the chat channel, so I can't even get a comment from anyone. So yeah, I'll just bear with me for a minute, Matt. I'll just duck down and see how much damage Matty Raymond ended up with.
No worries. I just did a little bit of it. Yeah, there we are. Got our zoom and zoom out working on our cameras. A little bit of adjustment there. Don't forget to, you can, if you're watching on the YouTube, there is a link in the chat for live timing, so you can put that up on one screen on a tab and watch the actual live timing and see who's pitting and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, and of course, obviously, a shameless plug for our website, ANZCAR.com. As we still roll around under these very long pace laps. Although the lights are out on the pace cars, so we will be looking at going back to green. Just have a little look through this field for any more cars with possible damage. Looks like these cars are alright. It's not till we get back to sort of Phil Otto in the 21st there missing the bonnet, and Paul Drady missing the bottom as well.
Yeah, okay, Matt. I just ducked down, and Matty Raymond is good to go. He just skimmed the wall, but it looks like he's got no damage to that right side of the car. But just had another quick word with Phil Otto. He's out circulating, but he is going to need to go back into the pits and get some more damage repaired.
Yeah, and I would think that's one benefit of these big long laps onto caution is you do get a chance to sit there for a long time and get minutes of damage repaired. But yeah, as we see, they're just coming around. I think they're coming off turn 4 now.
Yeah.
Yep, just going to see the pace car pull off here, and as I was saying on the first restart of this race, the start finish line is actually not right in the middle of the tri-oval. It's actually right near the end, so which is very different to all the other ones. So it can be quite hard to sort of keep your patience to not put your foot down early.
Yeah, and what they've got to do too is once that pace car leaves, they can't really speed up or slow down. They've got to keep a constant speed until they get to that restart zone, and then they can put their foot down. As Ryan does that now. So he's got a great jump, and Hayden's in behind him, and Nobby trying to stick with him. What Noddy needs to do is drop down in that low line and get in behind Hamish. But it looks like he's going to stick up there with Gary and try and make that top line work.
Yep, and that inside line is gone now for him, so he will have to stay up there at the top. But let's just see if the guys are still pretty aggressive or not. Or they were obviously pretty aggressive in that first run. Possibly too aggressive, which maybe led to the issue. But let's just see if they sort of settle down here a bit. Got a good spread of cars up the front in terms of teammates as well. I can only see 2 cars sort of lined up that are teammates, which is the Sim Boys of the 45 of Wellman and the 013.
And I was just going to say there, Matt, look, Dave Douglas has gone to make that third line, and Jamie Nankervis has tried to go with him. So this could be good racing.
Yeah, yep. Yep.
Noddy's been left there by himself. The guys in front of it, Dave, have seen who's coming and said, "Oh, I want to be part of this."
Yeah, yep, looks like they're going to leave Noddy out there. But they need to just get lined up a bit. They're moving around a bit too much. That's kind of broken the draft, which is going to allow Noddy to just power up through the middle here, and we're going to go 3 wide.
And Mad Dog himself is up there, Steve Hoppert in the 181 car. Sorry, the 131 car.
Yep.
So it's good to see him having a good run tonight.
And one car that is making a lot of moves is up 26 spots is the 29 of Jake Maloney. He is in 3rd position at the moment. He is that 3rd car on the inside line. Yeah, that's up 26 spots on 9 laps. It's a pretty big move.
Looks like they're just going to settle down and keep this nice, giving each other plenty of room after that first accident. Looks like there's a few more cars maybe coming down to try and join that middle line. Jamie Nankervis. Skurlock's now pulled up into that middle line and joining on the back of Dave Douglas. So those two can get out in the front. They've done a lot of racing together, and you may see them move to the front.
Yeah, it's a big game of high-speed chess at the moment. It's working out where you want to be. As Dave sort of just dropped off Noddy there a little bit, just trying to get a run. He's going to use the outside. So I think Skurlock might have just dropped a little bit of a gap there and communicated to Dave for Dave to pull up. They're most likely in the same chat together. They're still running 3 wide.
Yeah, they're not on. With so people know, we've got Discord running here that, of course, Matt and I are in, and a lot of other guys are. Then you've got the in-game chat channels, and then some guys will be using other Discord channels to communicate between them. So there's plenty of things to tune into, but unfortunately we can't monitor it all.
Yeah, and we saw a really textbook move there. We saw up the front, we saw Noddy give Ryan Jones in the 11 a really big push in the middle line, and they got clear of that inside line and they dropped down, both of them, which is pretty good, and that's brought it back down to two wide, which is probably a little bit better. As we see Jones now, he's going to go up in front of Maloney. Tell you what, some very aggressive moves. Very aggressive moves this early in the race.
and you can see the guys that are working together, because as soon as Jones got up there,
bit 2, 3, 4 dropped out and then came back in.
You can see the guys that are working together, because they're all Jake Maloney, someone the pace car. Yeah, the guys jumped up when Malone took that outside line. You can see the other two, Gary Ruhlman and Aaron Dillon, jump up there. So they're obviously working together, and they're talking and communicating well. And Ryan's jumped back up onto that outside line. I tell you what, Matt, this is pretty aggressive, considering we're only on lap 12 and 58.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just just aggressive, really aggressive moves being made this early in the race, and it's like they're getting away with it for now. But I tell you what, if this is going to keep going for another, how many laps to go? Another 56 laps to go. Yeah. And
we haven't really had a chance to have a talk. They can do this on one stop. I was told that the boys are using in the draft about 1.7 litres of fuel a lap. So they can do this on one stop. And as you said, tyres aren't a real big factor here. But if it was me in running tonight, I'd just throw 2 rights on that working side.
Yeah, it kind of depends on where you when you pit, really. If you're pitting at the end of a fuel run, I'd grab tyres, because your fuel's covered. The time taken to get the fuel in the car covers the time taken for tyres. So you always just need to be a little bit careful coming out of the pits on those warm tyres if you don't change them.
Yes.
But we've seen Dave Douglas drop back a bit now. I think he's seen the action going on at the front and thought, I think I'm going to sort of hang back a little bit. And
Look, he'd be just hoping that there's another. Well, well, not hoping, but he's probably playing on another caution. And we can see the wounded two at the back there.
yeah, sorry, I was just looking. There's quite a big gap there. These two, Phil's 3 laps down in the 1, and Josh is 6 laps down in the 31. So they're just circulating now to try and make up hopefully some points.
Yeah, look, that's definitely going to play a big role on the championship standings for season 3. Like Josh is leading, but he's only got 17 point gap over Ruben, so that'll change. That'll blow out even with Josh finishing further down. But there's not a great. Matty Raymond's only 1 point, so if Matty can survive this, I'd say he'd move into second place in the championship, or maybe even first. And depending again, who wins. Hamish is sitting down in 8th at the moment, so he'll be looking for a good bunch of points tonight.
Yeah, he'll be looking to make up ground. It's certainly sort of looking like tonight might be a drop round for Josh and a drop round for Ruben. So, yeah, so it's not probably the way they wanted it to be, but it's unfortunately going to be the way it works out, I'd say.
Yeah, unfortunate. But we've all got to have an off night, and we all tend to have one or two off nights through the season. I tend to have about 8 or 9.
Oh, I just saw that pink car get into the wall coming off off that corner there.
He's touched the wall a couple of times. It'd be interesting to see what kind of damage he's got down that right side. But you definitely don't want to go touching the wall too much, because the damage model, you may end up finding that right front just going a bit of a different angle to the rest of the car.
Yeah, and the damage as well. It might be enough to affect the aero. So if you are the leading car, it might be enough just to slow you down. You'll be alright if you're a pushing car, but yeah, might affect you if you're out in clear air.
Yeah, and you definitely don't really want to do that, because I mean to say the way this is going, it's going to come down to the last lap, I think, and the run through the tri-oval. So you definitely want to have a nice clean car, and that's where Hamish is done really well. He's just sitting in there behind Noddy, giving him a nice push. He's there helping him get along, but he's not taking any silly moves. He's nice and settled in that second spot at the moment.
Yes, yeah, and I think if we keep going green and we do a green flag pit stop, I think we'll see the field spread a little bit, because it's the difference on getting on and off pit road. It usually ends up splitting the field. Of course, how many cars you pit with, meaning how many cars you can pick up the draft with on the way back out.
Yeah.
And we see up the distance there, they're about to come up and pass the wounded cars of Otto and Mickelmore.
Just looking, Sturlock's dropped a long way back, although he is starting to make some moves through the field now. He's back up in the 20th, so he's slowly and steady. Stevie Dubb is down in 18th. Dave Douglas has dropped down to 11th. So he, as like we said, Matt, I think he's playing the longevity, just trying to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I think Dave and I share very similar tactics when it comes to super speedways, and I know if I was a driver out there, seeing what was going on the front there would have spooked me enough to sort of want to drop back down.
We've got contact.
Oh, we've got a car massive crash.
And they're still. Dave Douglas has been hit in the.
I'm just
Dave
trying
has
to work
got.
out who has just basically been killed because there was a car that just went airborne. Um, let's have a look and see if we can see the incidents and what caused that. Lap 19. Let's jump here.
One of those black cars there. Further back, I think it was, mate.
So just trying to find the incident still. It began around the 29, I think.
Probably that car on the outside, that black and white one, I'd say.
Yeah.
Looks like a bit of a squeeze there.
Free wide squeeze, then up there, and then 29 came back up. Yep. And then the 29 came back and then just launched the 274.
And Gary Willman,
Wow.
big damage there.
That's a huge crash.
If you jump on the Dave too, mate, he cops a good whack from.
So we see here they just squeeze, free wide squeeze. The 29 comes down to into the 35, which pushes him down under the yellow line, and the 29 wobbles and comes back up, unfortunately, and just taps the 274. And the 274 from about here is just a passenger, and gets fired up into the sky.
Yeah. If you follow Dave there, he tries to come back up a little bit.
We'll just watch the end of this one, and then.
I think that's game over there for.
Yeah, I think. Just trying to. Oh. This is the thing with trying to jump on drivers to have a look and see, is that it's always changing. There we go. Finally found it. So this is the 10 here. So we'll watch the 10. He's gone down low. 334 has come down and avoided him. Oh, yep, bit of damage on the front there. That's definitely going to hurt the aero, and a bit of damage in the back as well.
And Tristan was just a passenger there. He got tagged. And
there's not much you can do in that situation. You're just trying to avoid the wreck as best you can. And you sort of just end up tripping over each other. So as we see here again with the blimp view. Let's go back a little bit more. So it's all, the action's all happening up the front, and crashing, and when you're back here, you're sort of checking up, hoping that the cars behind you have seen it as well, and they're checking up as well. So if you come down here, 334. And that's it, that's all she wrote.
It looks like he may have just got caught. For people that don't know, where that yellow line is, there is actually a join between the two lots of tar. You can see there in the middle. So maybe he's just got caught there and he's put his foot on the gas a little bit too hard, and that's just turned him up into Tristan, and then it was all over from there.
Yeah, indeed. And so while we were just checking out that replay, looking at that, it looks like everybody has pitted. So we'll just have a look here at the pit stop information. So it looks like Maloney's kind of sat there a long time getting damage repaired as well. Douglas and Wellman and Dylan have long pit stops, so they're just repairing their damage as well. Not good.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I'd like to pull Noddy up, and now that he's not up the front, like right at the pointy end, but I don't want to go jinxing him.
No, let him concentrate on that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't need him running into me. Or we're not racing this week, but I definitely don't need him running into the back of me and let me know that I upset him tonight.
well, he's having a good run so far. He's sitting in
he definitely is.
third spot. So yeah, he's having a good run. So let's hope he keeps it going. As we see a new leader at the front too. Phil Bissett is the leader in the 30 car.
Yeah, it looks like his teammate, Paul Drady, he was caught up in that first one. So uh, he's going to be flying solo there for the rest of the night because his
Oh no,
teammates
no,
definitely.
Drady's in fifth or
Oh, so
sixth. Yep,
okay.
yep.
So Paul's been able
He's
to
had damage,
get
but I think he's got a bonnet on it now, so he's slowly getting his damage repaired. Or no, he does. He still doesn't have a bonnet.
bit of 100-mile-hour tape, duct tape. That's amazing what that stuff can do to hold race cars together. I know we've held many a bonnet on a sprint car and a wing together, top wing together with duct tape. So
It's good
yeah,
stuff.
lights are out on the pace car, so we will go green again for the third time tonight.
Yeah, let's see if we can grab a different view.
Now my money's on JCW here to get a good jump.
Oh, yep, he's on the outside with Jones. Yeah, let's see how they go. They come out to the restart zone now. Any moment now they'll get to the zone. It's such a long wait. Noddy's dropping back a little bit. Needs to close it up a bit. And here we go. Very good jump by the 30 car and the 80. They're very well spread out though. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when it compresses again.
Yeah, I think Noddy may have been leaving room there for Jones to come down if he wanted, but he closed that door very quickly.
Oh, Jones wanted to come down then, but yeah, thought better of it.
I think he would have got that last-minute call from his spotter, car inside, because Stevie Dubb closed that gap very quick.
But I think Jones, yeah, is better move for him to stay on the outside because you can just see there the 35 of JCW just giving a massive push. JCW is another strong driver on super speedways as well, so I'd be pretty happy if he was behind me giving me a push right now.
I know he's very good in pushing in the cup cars because he's pushed me a few times and he doesn't get into the back of you and bump you like a traditional push. He's just got that knack to be able to just sit right on the bumper but not touch you.
Sort of stalled out a little bit at the moment. For the most part, we're back down to a single file on the inside line. I'll just chuck up our top 15 and just see where everybody sort of is in our top 15. As you see, Jones and JCW have cleared the 30 car and dropped down as soon as they were cleared, so that was a good move there. And good awareness from Jones as well to stay out on the outside line long enough so that the 35 was clear as well.
Yeah, and you can see there that the yellow and black car, that's Steve Hoppert, and he's got a lot of damage to the front end, so that is going to hurt him sitting up there by himself.
Yeah, with that sort of damage, you want that car to be behind you rather than in front of a group. But if they can sort of pull up on the 80 car there, that might be okay. They might get away with it, but that damage could be stalling that line out there. As a whole bunch of cars just gone up top, so...
Yeah, I was just going to say, but in saying that, we now got Noddy with his teammate Matty Raymond behind him, so let's see what they can do with that top line.
Is that Josh McGill right there?
It most certainly is, mate.
That car is... Oh, the mechanics have done such a good job on that 31, he is now up to race pace.
Yeah, but he's still unfortunately 3 laps down.
6 laps down, yeah. 6 laps, yeah.
Let me redo this live timing because it's frozen on me. That's a bit better. Yeah, definitely 6 laps down.
Yep. So he's obviously just circulating around to make up positions. He's obviously made up a couple after that last wreck.
It looks like, Matt, I think we missed that. Phil Bassett, he hasn't taken tyres because he's got on a stint of 22 laps.
Yeah, I see him as being into pit lane once, so he might have pit under that first caution.
Yeah, everyone else has pitted under that second caution.
Yeah. And Bassett
And
was stationary a long time for that first caution, so he might have had a bit of damage. He got repaired as well, and
yeah,
uh,
I was just looking at that. He was in the box for a minute 42.
which
So yeah,
yep,
I'd say he's definitely had damage and he's got it repaired.
yeah, and he's probably grabbed tyres and fuel at the same time as well. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it home on that fuel, but he might do. Yeah, as you see at the front, we're going 3 wide again. Right.
So if we get another caution at the moment, Phil will get a lap back. So at the moment he's 2 laps down. So he should get a lucky dog and get through. Unfortunately, we just run through the retirement so far. Aaron Gillen, Matt Bailey, Luke Georgeson, Norman Clark, Reece May and Mirko. I'll tell you what, mate, I think I'm going to have to stop turning up because every time I turn up, Mirko just seems to have a bad night.
Yeah, he does. Look at them spreading out here. This is 4 wide, I think, at the moment. I'm not sure if someone's been forced down there, but of course, yeah, need to be careful of that because you can't go under the yellow line to advance your position. But if you force somebody down there, then that's a different matter.
I'm quite sure the officials will look at that post-race.
I don't want to have to be on the official. I don't want to have to be looking at and judging that. So please don't do it. Makes my life easier if you don't. But yeah, whoa. Door banging going on at 310 kilometers an hour.
So obviously there's no love loss between Steve Dove and 30. Phil.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might be just. I mean, these cars sometimes are hard to keep in line there if you don't have the steering ratio set to allow for it. But just keeping an eye on the speeds here. 300 kilometers an hour.
Mate, that's why I'm up here in the booth with you because I can drive the Cup car, but these things here are a different kettle of fish again.
Oh, I'm the opposite. Yeah. It doesn't help that that high line is really pinning down on that low line, trying to slow it down. They're trying to side draft, but yeah, it's not really a thing. But they've spread out now. They've given it a bit more room.
So we're almost at half race distance, and we've had 3 cautions. But everyone now has settled down, as you said, Matt. But like you can see here, they are cut that top line. He's trying to get down and really pull the wind and pull those guys on the inside line back.
Yeah. Yep. So they're trying to slow them down, which is why they're crowding them a bit. It's not great when it doesn't really give any tolerance for the cars on the bottom to sort of weave up a little bit.
No, and as you said, like speeds of 300 kilometres an hour, you definitely don't want to be making contact.
No. As we see, Williams has been squeezed out a little bit there. We'll go into the outside line. And we're going to go 3 wide. Williams has got the car, I think it's Nigel Sedell behind him. So I think Williams might have just bailed out of that because he sort of went high and he's dropped right back now.
I'm impressed with the Mad Dog. He's doing really well tonight. Touch wood, I haven't put the jinx on him. The commentator's curse. He's done really well. He was lucky to survive that last caution. There's just that damage on the front that you can see.
Yeah, I think everyone likes to see the Mad Dog do alright. If you don't know who the Mad Dog is, that's Steve Hoppett in the 131. Sometimes commentator to help us out. Yep. Great commentary voice he has.
So, big movers. I just thought actually, just looking at the speed, the fastest car out there at the moment is Matty Raymond and Lachlan
Urquio.
Urquio, 300 kilometres an hour. So that is very fast. The third fastest is Nobby Tompkins, 305 kilometres. So they are definitely not slowing down anytime soon.
No, and they've got another thing to deal with now. They're about to catch the lapped single car of Otto. So you can see that there, they're sort of staying down. That's good, they're in 2 lanes. Phil's doing the right thing, staying up in the high line, staying really predictable, letting the field come through. Phil will try and tag on the back of these cars here and keep a little bit of the draft if you can. And they all make it through nice and clean. Good driving. It's just clouded over a bit, has it? The sun's gone.
Yeah, it has. Sun's burning behind the cloud.
Of course, we have a dynamic sky and track conditions, so yeah. Started off in the sun, but it's clouded over quite a bit.
Not forecast for rain, is it?
No, not yet. They're taking their time with that.
Yeah, I think that's one thing they want to make sure they get right. I know some of our guys have said, let's have a rain night, because they haven't really wanted to run the track that we're at.
Yeah.
But in saying that, so we're here at Talladega tonight. So that means the Cup guys are here tomorrow night, I believe. Matt,
it does, yeah, that's right. Yep.
For the chase.
Yeah, so that another round of the chase tomorrow night at Talladega. That could be one that could really change the points scene if the top drivers get involved in an incident.
Yeah, and I missed the last couple of weeks. You locked me out of the booth last week.
Did I?
You've done put some damn good locks on that booth. But is it still Foster and Dyson for the front?
Yeah,
top spot.
The Cup Series on Chase. Yep, Andrew Dyson leads that series still by 5 points from Edward Foster, and it has sort of broken out a little bit of a gap to the cars in 3rd and 4th. So yeah, it's probably going to take a bad night for Foster and Dyson to sort of bring them back to the field.
Yeah, look, Ed's having a pretty good run this year, and I hope it still continues. Not everyone knows that we work close together. Ed runs in my 2 leagues, the 87 Masters, and he's leading that. And I could almost give him the trophy tomorrow, next weekend, because that's how big a gap he's got. He's just a master in those things, and he's also leading our Cup Series. So my money's on Ed for a 3-peat, I believe it'd be, if he takes this year.
It will be, yeah, that's right. Where are we at next week? The Roval. Yeah, sorry, there's a question in the chat where we're at next week. We're at the Roval.
Yes, I think you're right now. I do believe that was coming up.
Yeah.
Because it was one that Ed wasn't really confident there, with Dyson having a big circuit background. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Yep, that will be a damage limitation race for Ed, and because Dyson's going to be up near the top 1 or 2 or 3 even.
Yeah. Well, I mean to say, going into that, you got to look at Pearson and the other DPI drivers. They've all got a fairly strong circuit background, so those guys I wouldn't expect to be up in the top 10. And it just as we've got a race going on here, we're going back 3 wide racing, or it looked like we were going to go 3 wide down the back straight out of turn 2 there, with some guys starting to get a little bit of a run. But Jones and JCW is a little bit of a gap now. 0.2 of a second. That's not a big gap,
Nah.
but it's a gap that we're.
Oof.
Oh,
As we see, that's Bissett having to come into pit. So I'm not sure
yeah.
if he called that early and let the cars know behind him that he was coming in or not. But see, that's because he didn't pit earlier on that last set of cautions, so he would be having to come in and now get fuel.
Yeah, just
So that stint for him, I've just lost the data, but
20.
35
It's got to be.
laps.
Yeah, it's Nick Smith and Peter Jones will be looking at for the pit soon. Same as Raymond Jager. Raymond's on 27 lap stint. Jones is on a 28 lap stint. So some of these guys are. Jake Maloney, he may be looking at the pit soon, and Matty Ray. Matty Ray's done 31 lap stint, but in saying that, he's just moved up in the 4th spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm only seeing him as, let's see, if this information throws up. So he's done 2 pit stops. Matty Ray has done 2 pit stops. I'm not sure. He might be good. I think he's done about 20 laps actually, I think. But I think there's still 28 laps to go, so I think we're still going to need to see, if we keep going green here, we're still going to need to see them pit fuel.
I think some of them will hold out to the last minute. And that's what I was going to, sorry, I'm jumping around a bit here. I was going to elaborate on these guys that are up on that high line when they're getting past. It's kind of sort of an unwritten rule that all oval track races know, that if you're getting lapped, try and get out off the preferred racing line. So around here, of course, it's the low line to the middle line. So you'll find that on 95% of the super speedways, guys will try and get up onto that high line and hug that wall.
Yeah,
but
I've found that can vary from league to league. I know some leagues like to have the lap cars run on the low line. Yeah, I know we prefer to do on the outside, but I think sometimes that can vary.
And we just see here, if you jump to the back of the front, Matt, we've got Paul Drady, and he's getting lapped, and he actually called out that he will go to the low line below the yellow line. So as the leader's coming to him, he called that out over the race radio and said, I'm going to below the yellow line. So
yeah, I think that's a preference thing. I mean, I think if you don't want to say anything on the radio, you just stay on the high line. Generally, I think the leaders also as well will yell out on the radio asking you to get into the high line. Otherwise, unless in that situation there, like Paul, if you want to do the low line, you just yell out, call it over the radio to the leaders. Hey, I'm going to drop down the low line, so the leaders just know what's going on.
Yeah, and also a lot of these guys, you don't have to call out when you're kicking in, but a lot of these guys will try and save their own bacon and call that they're going into the pit, especially on the green and this close proximity racing. The last thing anyone wants to do is run up the back of the guy that's just slowing down that little bit to get into pit lane, because it can be very tricky if you've got someone right up your backside. You don't want to get on the brake and you want to leave it to the last minute to pull into pit lane.
Yeah, with the super speedways though, you do have, as we see, Noddy drop down on the low line there. You do have quite a bit of runoff, so you can come off turn 4 and just pull it right down to the left, and you do have quite a wide runoff there that you can sort of get out of the way off the racing line. So you don't really. Sometimes you can get away with that without having to call that you actually are pitting. You can just use that extra runoff.
Yeah. Now,
sorry.
I'm going to ask you a question here. We've seen Noddy get pulled down on that low line and leave his teammate. Where within that 20 laps, I'm not sure what you guys have. Do you actually have a blocking rule Has Noddy done that to give his teammate the run? And that's
Oh, they want to be really careful doing what they're doing here. Yeah, I think the 35 is going to pay the price for that. And it split them up as well. I'm not sure what's going on there. I mean, you kind of might be thinking on the outside line that you might really want to try and get in the low line, thinking about your pit stop coming up. Well, I mean, it's blocking wise.
because in my league we say like you can move once through the race and that's it, but within that last 15, 20 laps, we will put up with a certain amount of blocking, but be ready for the tack if you do it stupidly. I just looked at that there and I thought, well, maybe he's done that to try and let Matty Ray get in and lead a lap and get a couple of bonus points.
Yeah, I mean, definitely guys that are pretty good at it. They certainly can drop down like that and kind of slow that line down a little bit and let the outside line get past you and stuff. And that's possibly what was going on there. But you saw that the 11 and the 35 tried to do something about it and get away from that, but that cost them. So, in terms of blocking, I mean, I'm always of the opinion it's like real life. Like if you start throwing blocks, you're relying on the guy behind you to be kind to you and not turn you. So, I mean, sooner or later, they may not be kind, and they're gonna, yeah, sooner or later, if they don't lift, and you cop the short end of the straw, then you've blocked and put yourself in that situation. I mean, in terms of officiating, when we rule it, we look at what causes the caution. If you throw a bad block, and it causes the caution, then you might end up being the one that's penalised for it. So
yeah, that's fair enough. It's just that I know some people out there will look at it and say, well, that's a block. And realistically, as you said, Matt, there's no real. It's real life. That's what you do in real life. There's a lot of blocking, and we can see here Josh and Dave have teamed up, and Josh is definitely trying to push Dave to that race lead.
Yeah, I mean, I always look at it like as if you throw a block in front of me on lap 5 out of 100, I'm going to lift. But if you're going to throw a block at me at lap 95 of 100, I'm probably not going to lift.
Yeah, you're the same as me.
So, you put that decision into the hand of the drivers behind you. So if you're going to block and they decide not to lift and you get sent, then it's kind of your fault.
Yeah, and again we can see Josh here. Yes, he's 6 laps down, but he's actually trying to get Dave to the lead. So people can't. I know some drivers will say, "Oh, Josh is 6 laps down." Well, hang on, he's pushing another guy to the front. So obviously they've teamed up, they've spoken, and again, this is real life racing. We want it to be real life, as lifelike as we can, and this is what happens. You often get guys that have been laps down and they've got their cars repaired. And I mean, say that car looks $1 million compared to what it did, 40 laps ago.
I'm shocked that he's even circulating at the speed that he's running at. His car was stuffed.
Well, what's he running? He's 305. He's one of the quickest cars out there at the moment.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, we've got to remember he isn't behind the draft that Dave's making for him. But even still, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's making good lap speed there. But they want to be careful going 3 wide when they come up to a lap car.
Tristan will say hi for him and give him a clean run.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, that may be Brett. Brett
Campbell, I think. Maybe. Yeah. Yep. So Brett I think he's lost the draft I don't know if he's got much damage to the car, but he had a slow pit stop
Oh,
last time.
oh, did Squirrely there?
Yeah, might be getting a bit loose on these old tyres. I think Josh is pushing Dave pretty hard as well. I think they're getting ready to look at coming into pits.
Now, just so everyone knows, you can actually adjust how much fuel you put into these cars. That's one of the very few things that you can change under fixed league racing, and one of the only other things that you can adjust is your brake bias. So
Steering ratio as well.
Steering ratio. Yep. So it's set by iRacing and turn up and race. But Ryan Jones there in the dog box racing, he's done well. He started down in, where did he start?
Do you mean Lachlan in the dog box car?
Is that
Lachlan
sorry,
in second
mate.
there. That's all right. Ryan Jones is in the...
For some reason, my life timing isn't updating itself.
Oh,
so,
might have to give the page a refresh. Might time out after a little bit.
Yeah, I've just done that, so
no,
I can now see it's Lachlan.
Ryan Jones is not hard to miss. He's in the M&M's car, the Kyle Busch livery car.
Nigel, I can hear on the radio in the background that guys are starting to call for pits.
Yep. Yep, I think we're seeing guys all lining up there. I think Dave Douglas has just dropped down to that low line.
Yep.
They're all sort of setting up to be able on that low line to just pull in. You want to go in as many cars as you can because that means when
you'll find. Sorry,
yep.
It moves, mate. I was just going to say Dave's in and Ryan's in.
A few cars behind him as well.
Dave's trying to pull that up. Oh, that was a great big walk up. I'm just wondering if some of these guys will end up with penalties because they hit that yellow line, that control line, and they were still locked up.
Yeah, they're going pretty fast. And yeah, speeding penalty was just really kill you around here too. As you see them here in pits.
So Hamish is in.
Yeah, so a big group of cars have come in and pitted there. Looks like a lot of fuel only cars there. What's happened to Jones? Jones is stationary a long time.
I think he got a penalty, mate. I really do.
Yep. I'd say, judging by the time he's there, he's got a penalty. Gallagher has been stationary a long time as well. I think Gallagher and Jones have picked up penalties on the entry into pit road.
And the guys that have stayed out, Lachlan may have ended up with a penalty, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
On that one,
because he was very locked up. He had everything locked up there. And he's missed his box.
And he's had to come back, yeah. Maloney's in as well, Raymond.
Yeah, so everyone that stayed out, I think, has just come in on that second
Lachlan
time.
is away, and with his 8.7 second pit stop time, I'd say he's taken fuel only. So he might have got away with it.
JCW is in this time. Brad Finley's coming in.
Yeah,
Stevie Dub's in.
Is Finley coming in? Yep.
Yep.
So they're coming in. Oh, jeez.
Some of these guys be pushing that envelope very close to...
pushing it very close, but having a look at the cars back out on track up to speed. Urquio in the 42 is about to get passed by a train of cars with Nankervis at the front of it, and the 8. 350 of Skillock and Raymond Jaeger.
These guys will have to come
in. No, these guys have been in. They've pitted. This is going to be the effective lead of the race. And interestingly enough, all 3 of these cars took fuel only.
just watching JCW trying to get out. He was
Yeah.
held up there a little bit by Phil. And there's nothing Phil can do. He's going as quick as he can.
Yep.
But until you get to that blue cone there you see in the background, you can't pass.
So we've got the 35 and the 98 are just not up to speed yet. And we see that train of 3 cars coming around. So that's why you want to pit and get out with as many cars as you can. You can just see that the power of that draft there. And they drop down in front of the 35 of JCW there. And unfortunately, that is Finlay in the 104 that's been hung out to dry there. So he needs to maybe just, yep, he's going to do it now, I think. But he needs to just sort of drop in that line there. Yeah, that's right. Just ease off the throttle a little bit, drop back in there and just say single file. 13 laps to go. Urquhart in the 42. Yep, we're going to see second line form now.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Jamie's a teammate of mine, so I'd like to see him get up and win this. It's whether or not he can
no, you've got to be,
hold Skurlock off there.
You got to be non-biased in the commentary booth.
I'm non-biased, but I'm just saying I'd like to see him have a win.
Yeah.
Whoever can get to the end of Talladega, and I know that what it's like to win here. It's a great feeling. So whoever wins at a super speedway has done well because they've survived the carnage, and the Jamie's car looks nice and straight. But in saying that, JCW is on the outside, and I know he won't give up the win if he's got the chance to take it. And saying that, he gets takes the inside line.
Yeah, I'd like to see a fresh face win. I always like to do see the non-regulars winners. So I'm not particularly biased against anybody, and I don't have anything against the guys who usually win all the time. But it's just always good to see it shared around.
I know one person that would like to have a win is that 42 car.
Yeah. But I just noticed that Matty Ray is up there. He's pretty strong in Super Speedway.
And again, I'm not going to say his name, but that other red and yellow car, he's done fantastic to be up there all night.
And we've got a big split now. We can see in the background there's a second pack, and they're about 9 seconds off the lead, that pack. As you see them move around a little bit, the 35's dropped down and 42's still up on the high line. So I think barring any sort of disaster or issue, the winner should be coming out of this pack of cars that are at the front here. These first 8 cars, first 9 cars, sorry.
Yeah, we've got. Just got a message from the Mad Dog himself. What a way to go out!
Blew an engine?
Well, he's in the infield care centre. Might try and get him up here quickly and just see what happened to the old dog himself. Steve, Mark here in the booth, mate. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do, Mark.
Mate, what happened? I got your message. What did you blow a motor or?
Mate, I can honestly say that I've never, ever been put out of a race in the way that I just went out then. My hand was so numb I couldn't even feel the shifter from hanging on to this new DD wheel, and I shifted down too fast coming into the pits.
Oh, no. Dear me.
I changed from 4th to 3rd after I was onto the infield and couldn't tell whether I'd actually activated the shifter. So I hit it again and I gave it a double tap and it went to 1st, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, right. Sorry, mate. We've just got another lead change. Nobby is back in the lead. Matt, this is going to be one hell of a finish with 9 laps to go. We've got a group of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 8 cars. So throw your marbles up in the air, ladies and gentlemen, and see how they land, because it's going to be a hell of a finish.
It is, yeah. Just sort of shifting around and different cars lining up with different other cars and stuff. But yeah, I imagine that you've got the 2 SRM cars there, and then I think that's the only teammates there, or is Raymond and Jamie teammates?
No,
Sure.
they're not teammates. No.
So, but yeah, the point I was trying to make is that if there's 2 teammate cars there, I imagine they'll hook up and get nose to tail, and then they won't try and pass the other one. They'll try and get the win.
Yeah, Steve, it is a hell of a way to go out, considering you survived that big scare in that second caution, where that car come flying over the top of you. It's very lucky you only get
didn't even see that, mate. All I know is I survived 2 of the incidents and was happy to do so.
Yeah, mate. Well, it's unfortunate, but we'll let you go, and we'll get back to this, because this is turning out to be a great end of this race.
Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. What have we got? Noddy Tompkins leading. Go, Noddy, go.
And we don't have anyone supporting anyone in the booth.
No, we don't have anybody supporting anybody in the booth. Go, Noddy. All right, guys. Look, just a comment too. Great to see JCW back, and Jake Maloney. It's great to see him back. I wish that he hadn't have actually been so dangerous out there, but it's good to see those guys back on track anyway.
Yeah, thanks, mate, and hard luck, and hopefully next week we may be able to talk to you in a different circumstance. You're standing on the podium there.
Been a fantastic race, and good luck to whoever it is that comes out on top at the end. See you guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, mate.
So we're down to 6 laps to go here, and yeah, that second pack of from 10th place onwards, they're losing time now. Unfortunately, the Maloney, Douglas, and Koch group. So I don't think they're going to be a factor. So yeah, a bit of a bad pit stop there. Just trying to see where Jones and Gallagher have ended up. Nose to tail in 18th and 19th position.
Yeah, that's the lead pack coming up behind them.
Yeah.
So let's see how they go. I think they'll either go high and they just won't put up a fight. They will definitely move out of their road. But this pack behind, this lead pack, they are hard and charging.
Yeah.
We
They're
still got
a second a lap quicker than Gallagher and Jones. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you there, I think that's probably the fastest speed we've seen down the end of that back straight tonight, 312 kilometres.
Yeah, look at that. The 42's given the 80 a really big push there. Matty Ray in the 83's been shuffled out a little bit out the back. As we're sort of down to, what are we down to, 5 laps to go now? 4 laps to go, yeah, there we are, 4 laps. I was just waiting for it to click over.
But the thing here is you've got to watch JCW on that outside line. I think you'll find if Skurlock can get clear of that outside line, he'll jump up and he'll drag JCW along. So there's two guys or 3 guys there that you wouldn't count out, even though they're sitting in 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, I'd be very wary of the 35 and the 23. Yeah, JCW and Raymond Yeager. I know Raymond's pretty good on super speedways as well, so I'd be very wary of those 2. And Stevie Williams is another one who's strong on super speedways.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is really tough. Like any one of these 9 cars could win this.
Yep.
Is that going to come up? Yeah. So there's Jones and Gallagher.
Gallagher move high. They know they can't do anything here. A great run for them. It's a shame for Ryan Jones, leading so many laps early on and just unfortunate pit stop.
Yeah, Ryan would have been a factor in going for the win of this race as well, and Gallagher as well too. But yeah, unfortunately it looks like they did pick up a penalty on pit road on that last green flag pit stop. But they will just slot in here.
See, I would have played a different card game here. I would have got up in front of JCW because Lockie, yeah,
Yeah. It's hard. It's 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
You don't want to be pinned in sort of where that number 8 is, sort of Nanku. You probably don't really want to be there because you're sort of pinned in, but you've got a couple of lap cars there now adding to the draft, so it's going faster, and got to wonder where they're going to
Step
go.
back down.
What's Noddy doing? Oh, that's playing with fire there. I think he was trying to catch a bit of draft from the green car in front there, but that's you do not want to leave that open for somebody to put their nose in there, because if you drop out of this pack, you are done.
Yeah. We've got to see if Raymond can push Noddy back to the front.
Here we go. Coming around 1 lap to go.
Will we
Who's going to
see
get
the big one?
Yeah, exactly. Who are we going to see a big one on the last set? And we did.
Oh!
Yep, we're going to see. Oh! Here we go. We'll come back to that one a little bit later on and see that, because we're going to keep focused on the front here. Out of all of that, Raymond Jaeger is at the front. Finlay's leading the outside line. Finlay's got Matty Ray, and Jaeger's got the 350 of Skill up behind him. So it's now 4 cars, and 42 of Ukuo there making up the 5th car. Oh, it's going to be a straight drag race off turn 4.
That inside line has just got the.
Yeah, I think Jaeger's got it because they've spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Raymond's going to grab this one. Although Lachlan, it's a very long. Oh, it's going to be close. Raymond has got it by 0.055 of a second.
It looks like it was Raymond, Lachlan, and Skurlock.
Yeah. Wow. What a finish.
Yep, that's the way it's come up. So Raymond Jaeger has actually taken the win, and then Lachlan, and then Michael Skurlock. So what a great way to finish. And again, that's Super Speedway, and that's Talladega.
That is. So I'm just getting back there and
Yeah,
getting it lined up for the replay. We'll have a look at that last lap incident once we just watch Raymond burn it down here. Raymond's going to do some well-deserved burnouts. I think Raymond's determined to blow that engine up there.
or pop some tyres.
Or pop some tyres. Really lighten that up. Good win there. So I'm just going to jump back and see if we can find out, see that last lap incident. Let's grab a replay. I'm trying to work out what's going on here. So Noddy's already turned there, so we'll jump back. And we'll grab our
I think Noddy's tried to come down. Like he's clear there. But JCW's got a great run on him. And he's, good luck with that one, Matt.
Yeah, that doesn't look too good, does it? And then they've sort of just bounced around here, bounced up, 8 into the 13, 30. It's all on from there. Noddy's at least still kept going, although... Yep, no, he's avoided the 98. He's got a bit of the wall. Yeah, it's not great.
I'm glad I'm not sitting and on the board there to review that.
Yeah, it's pretty clear cut, that one, I think. Yeah, just unfortunate in there, but it just had to happen with the 9 cars of the pack there, all fighting for the win. So very unfortunate, but yeah, and that course cleared the way for Jaeger to be able to come through.
Yep.
And so
just waiting on our third place getter to get into the green room.
I'll play this through, and then we'll have a little bit of a freeze frame right at the line and have a little bit of look and see just the margin. See, I think for the outside line to be able to have a go, it needed the yellow car Matty Ray needed to be lined up a bit better, because 23 had the the 350 behind him. So even I forget it's that long. Just trying to grab a good view of this. There's
So
your
it's
finish.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's definitely Matty. Raymond out the front, but yeah, it's I
Yeah.
reckon Lockie must have only just got that.
I think it was a little bit longer. Lockie might have had it, or did Lockie? Yeah.
Yeah, Lockie's only
Just
just
got
got,
it.
that second.
Yep.
All right, well, Mr. Mick Skurlock has joined us in the booth, mate. What a way to finish the Talladega! It's a typical Talladega race, right down to the wire, mate.
There's no getting away from anyone around there, but yeah, I'm a bit fed up that these super speedways are the only time I can get an interview these days, and I don't even like these races.
Oh, mate, and I was saying that realistically, you've got to throw a coin and just survive the early stuff. Like we've seen one car there launch into outer space, and so you were lucky there to miss that. I think that one went straight over the roof of your car on that second caution.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, you don't know what's going to happen in these races, but yeah, the best thing you can do is just put yourself somehow in a position where you even got a chance to get around there at the end of the race, and it doesn't matter what you do. You can take your time and lose the pack, and a yellow never comes out, and you got no chance, or you can try and race, and the yellow will happen right in front of you, and you get caught up in it. So you never know what you're going to get, but I think that's what makes it addictive, eh?
Yeah, mate. Look, we're here again tomorrow night in the Cup cars. You've done well tonight. You were up the front. You dropped to the back. You've come back through, and you've got third place. Are you looking at doing roughly the same thing tomorrow night? And what's your plan?
Yeah, rinse and repeat, mate. I think just the same thing. Just try and keep calm, and even if it feels like things are getting a bit boring or whatever, just stay the course, mate. Because normally, once things get a bit boring, I just put my foot down and just want to mix it up just for something to do, and then that's normally when something happens. So, yeah, just take my time and see what happens.
Yeah, well, mate, you've only actually had 2 starts this season, so to come back for your third start and come up come from a 14th to third, that's got to help you in the points and jump you up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a little. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I prefer to be coming third or better on one of the mile and a halves, but yeah, I'll take what I can get, man.
Yeah, mate. Well, congratulations. Shout out to sponsors and loved ones and supporters, mate, before we let you go.
Yeah, just BMX Bandits, mate. And you boys for putting this on, Performance E-Streaming. Yeah, thanks to you boys and everyone in ANZCAR for just turning up.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, congratulations. Thanks for your time. You can go have some dinner now, all right?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Catch you.
Thanks for your time, Skirly. All right, well, there you go. That's Mr. Mr. Skurlock. I just got to remember who came second. It was Lockie, wasn't it?
Lockie, yeah, that's right.
All right. Okay. Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Lachlan, the man that I can't pronounce his surname, even though he's told me half a dozen times. I still can't get it right. Mate, congratulations, second place. Down to the wire there tonight.
Yeah, that was a bit fortunate that I got the run the way I did. I was hoping I might be able to squeeze in front of Ray, but it just stalled out as soon as I got out in front of Skirly.
Yeah. Mate, it looked like you were giving Noddy a great push there. Were you happy to push him to the win, or would you have if didn't happen the way they happened, the usual big one? Were you happy to sit there in second, or would you have pulled out and tried to have a drag race with him?
Oh, look, it's hard to say because, I mean, we got broken up with about 3 to go, so it kind of ruined any plans that we had to do that. So after we got broken up, it was kind of every man for himself. If I got to the back of him, I probably would have pushed him in because he deserved it. I mean, the guy drove really well tonight. So shout out to Noddy. That was really professional drive from him. Up the front all night, hard to fault. I mean, awesome teammate as well. Great pusher and great leader.
Yeah, I said that, and I was touching wood every time I mentioned him because he's really come on in leaps and bounds this year with his oval track racing in every league that he runs in. So yeah, it was unfortunate. What could have been for him.
Yeah, look, I think he still came away with a top 10, so it's nothing to shake a stick at. But yeah, no, it was a good race. I mean, another shout out to Matty, who was kind of coordinating it all, helping us out. Matty Ray, he got P5, but he deserved more than that as well. But no, it was a good night, and yeah, it's nice to come away with a P2 for once instead of P nowhere.
Mate, you've really got to be happy. Like we know you've been overseas this year. You've missed a fair bit of racing. You've been back a couple of weeks now, and you know I'll touch on the 87s. You run with that with us. You run our Cup car, and now finally you're back with ANZCAR, and you're really starting to get some results. You know, in that top 10, and like tonight, a second place. So you've really got to be happy with the way you're driving now that you've settled back in.
Yeah, I am actually kind of happy with the way it's going. I think it's just a bit more relaxed, a bit more calm about it all, and just enjoying the driving rather than getting a bit too stressed like I was before I went away. So it's nice to be able to go out there and have fun rather than just get a bit upset because I'm getting wrecked every week. But it's really, really nice to be up there at the front. I think I got a bit lucky on that last lap, to be honest. I dodged the wreck a bit well, but either way, it's a P2 and I'll take it. Cheers, boys. Thanks for the broadcast as well.
Yeah, all right, mate. I was just going to say shout out to sponsors and of course your teammates.
Yeah, well, big thanks to the SRM boys for letting me help them out and run with them for the back half of this year. It's probably been a big part of it as well, sort of learning a lot of the tricks of Matty, teaching me as well about how he can keep the car clean. That's helped a lot. I mean, a shout out to the Mitre 10 guys letting me run the stickers on the cars. I think they've turned out really well this year, the liveries. A big thanks to you guys as well for the streams. I mean, you guys put on a really good job every week, and it's going to be fun to go back and watch it back as well. But yeah, cheers. And thanks to ANZCAR for putting it on. Great event.
Just ignore my voice, all right?
Nah, you're the best part.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time. And again, congratulations on your second place tonight. And let's hope there's a few more for the rest of the season.
Definitely. And big shout out to Carl. Hope he's feeling better, recovering somewhere.
Yeah, he'll be back. I'll say he'll pull himself out of bed for tomorrow night and get in the booth. If not, we might just have to go get him and drag him into the booth.
Hopefully, I'll see him tomorrow night.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time, and we'll drop you back down. Well, there you go, Lockie. He's very happy with the way he's driving. But we're joined now in the booth by the number one man, Raymond Jager. Well done, mate, getting that Pinnacle Racing car to the win tonight.
Yeah, mate, cheers. Bloody don't win too many here, so I'm bloody stoked, eh?
Mate, look, you got to be happy. The super speedway racing you do on Sunday night, and like not only just super speedways, but you do other stuff too. You've got to be really happy. You've survived the carnage at Talladega, and you've taken the win.
Oh, absolutely, mate. The plan was sort of stick down the back for the race and hopefully shoot up through the field on that green flag pit stop if we had one. It worked basically to perfection. We got clear. And then, you sort of just hold the foot to the floor at the end and hope you end up at the front.
Yeah. That last pit stop, mate, did you take 4 tyres, no tyres, 2 tyres? What was the secret?
No tyres, mate, just fuel. Don't really need tyres at Talladega, so we just, put the fuel in and off we went.
Yeah, you definitely got to be happy. Like you've survived a couple of those early ones, a couple of close calls there, and you've come through to take the win. So congratulations, mate.
Yeah, geez, as that first one was a bit of luck. Literally pulled out of line because I just had a bad feeling about what was happening in front of me, and pulled out of line and dropped back to the back of the field. And literally about a second and a half later, there was a wreck directly where I was. So I'm in a bit of luck and capitalised fully with getting the W. So I need to shout out Skirley for the amazing push at the end to keep me at the front. So thanks to Skirley.
Yeah, it was a great finish, a typical Talladega Super Speedway finish. Mate, before we let you go, shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, to the boys at Pinnacle Esports Racing. I mean, none of them rocked up tonight to support me, but that's okay. Greg, Nigel, Justin, and Matt, they all make getting on and racing worth doing, so that's great stuff. We've got a couple of sponsors, Future Electrics and the Sim Racing Edge, who give us our open setups when we race open stuff. So thanks to them, and I'll quickly shout out our league, Australian Supercar E Series on Sunday night. V8's on ovals. Get around it. It's going off this season. So yeah.
Yeah, well done, mate, and hopefully we'll see you back in the winner's circle a few more times before the end of the season.
Oh, let's hope so, mate. But I'm not gonna hold my breath. That's for sure. Thanks to you guys as well for doing an amazing job on the stream each week.
No worries, mate. Well, thanks very much, mate, and hopefully, as I said, talk to you again soon.
Yeah, cheers, Mark. Catch you, mate.
See ya. Well, there you go, Matt. What a way to finish a race. Typical Talladega, typical Super Speedway, down to the wire, and you can't get much closer finish than what we had there.
No, it's pretty crazy. Finish that one. What we'll do is we'll run through the results. So I'll just check those up now. We can see exactly how close that top three was. 0.055 of a second and 0.060 of a second. So first place was Raymond Yeager, of course, and Lachlan, and second, and Michael Skullock third. We've heard from them. Christopher Finlay, good run for him tonight for the Sim Boys, coming home in fourth place. Matty Ray coming in fifth. Stephen Williams in sixth. Noddy Tompkins ended up in seventh position, so still a good finish. Not the finish you kind of hoped for, but still a good finish. JCW finished in eighth. Dave Douglas in ninth. Tristan Koch in 10th. And in 11th place was Jake Maloney. Jamie Nankervis was in 12th. Nick Smith was 13th. Nigel Siddell 14th. Peter Jones 15th. Ryan Jones in 16th. Brad Finlay in 17th in the 20 car. Hamish Gallagher in 18th spot. Phil Bissett in 19th. Brett Campbell in 20th. Paul Drady ended up 21st. Phil Otto 22nd. Josh Micklemore 23rd. Steve Hoppett says 25 there, but he was 24th. Wesley Closley was 25th. Gary Wellman 26th. 27th was Aaron Dillon. Matt Bailey 28th. Luke Jordanson, who had that big crash for the year, was 29th. Norman Clark in 30th. Mirko Dortnak in 32nd, and Reese May 31st, and Bruce Barnes 33rd or 2nd? I don't know why those numbers are out. 33rd, yeah. Anyway.
I think the producer's been having a few tots while we've been doing this.
No, I think it depends on the overlays get a bit messed up when people tow to the pits or disconnect or something. I'm not sure, but that's all right. We got there in the end. We sort of know what.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, mate,
Cool.
what a great night of racing.
Indeed.
ANZCAR Cup tomorrow night at Talladega.
Yep, that's right.
The trucks next Monday night. I'm not sure where they are, but then we've got the Thunder Series back next Wednesday night at the Roval. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I've not seen these things run a circuit track before, so I'm hoping I can make it back to the booth for you next week and hopefully have a call there at the Roval.
Yeah, so I've just checked that up there. Yeah, so we can see the Charlotte Roval 33 laps next Wednesday on the 28th. It's race 7 of 11 in the series. And just trying to see what other information we've got as well. And then, of course, the Cup Series was at Talladega tomorrow night as well, and that will be broadcast here on YouTube and Facebook. I think
Hope
that's
I should be back tomorrow night if everyone can put up with my voice. But let's hope the NASCAR man himself, Carl, can make it into the booth tomorrow night, because it's definitely not the same without him. And I know I haven't got the best voice for calling races. So if you're out there, Carl, get well for tomorrow night, mate, and hopefully we'll see you in the booth tomorrow night.
yeah. We got to wheel him out for tomorrow night. We need his energy.
break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Mark, for jumping in and helping out tonight. Much appreciated. And
It's always a pleasure, mate, calling these races. And as I said, good bunch of guys that get in and have a race. A few touch ups there tonight, but it'll all be forgotten for next week, and they'll come out and do it all again.
They will indeed. Excellent. All right. I think we will leave it at that, and wish everybody a good night, and see you next time.
Yeah. Good night, everyone, and thanks for tuning in.